The following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
On this edition of Straight Up 5 with Todd McGill, we welcome PBA pro Dave Wodka to the show. Dave is a PBA National Tour titleist. He has 23 PBA regional titles and one PBA 50 regional title. He is the international sales manager for Brunswick. We can't wait to talk to him, so let's not waste any more time. Straight Up 5 with Todd McGill starts now.
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop.
Hey y'all, Jacob Ledrup here.
Hey guys, Chuck Ritchie here, formerly of Bowl TV.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Schaefer of track staff at Valley Bowling Center in Waverly, New York.
And you're listening to Straight Up 5.
Yo, the boys from Straight Up 5.
Todd McGill is one of the nicest people I've ever met.
But he doesn't have the best hair in the world. I do. Sorry, bud, but you know the deal. Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Todd McGill. A hard-hitting, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only feature bowling, but we'll give you a raw look into real-life issues. We've had the biggest and brightest stars from the past, future, and present on this show as we strive to bring you the best the sport of bowling has to offer. So without further delay, let's introduce you to the host of your show, Red Rob Francois, and your featured host, Todd McGill.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Todd McGill. I am your host, Rad Rob Francois.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
It's been a while. It's been a hot minute, as the youngsters say, since I've had Popeyes. But I mean, it's been the running joke on this show for I don't even know how long we've been doing this, for 194 episodes. And this is a very special episode, primarily because we didn't get the guests that we wanted. And the guest that we have coming on was a fill-in. Sorry, that was. Apparently the joke bombed. Let's see who's in the chat tonight. We got Philip Marks. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Hello, Rob and Todd. I'm up to episode 81 now. All right, I mean, we'll see. We'll see you. We'll see you when you get here. Hopefully, by the time you catch up, we'll still be doing this show. You never know. As my old my granny never said this, but it's a southern thing. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Hopefully we'll still be here by the time you catch up to episode 350. We got Nico Pujar in the house. What's going on, brother? He's our resident statistician and reporter. He wants an I do. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Scott Shera, what's up, brother? Sorry I wasn't available for the show. It's fair. No, it's fair. Yeah, I mean, it was short notice. I asked you, but you were busy doing your night job. How rude! Don't be rude to Dave like that. He knows I'm just busting his balls. If he doesn't, well, now he knows. It's good to. I'm in one of those moods. It's been one of them days. I've had several faux pas with that banner back there. I was trying to hook it to my green screen. And it fell off. But go to bowlify.com, pick out your favorite jersey. Use the code RADROB at checkout for a discount. I will put the link to my sub store in the chat at some point during the show if I don't forget. And it'll also be in the description in the YouTube channel. But anyways, before we bring in our featured host, let's pay tribute to all of our troops overseas with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light was so held the twilight at the last gleaming of triumph, who brought us fight o'er the rapids we man, and the rocket's red glare, bombs bursting in air, gave to the night that the stars were still there, or still yet wait, brave and the home of the free.
Join me in prayer, please.
Lord, please forgive this guy for butchering our national anthem. I don't know what he was looking down at. It certainly wasn't any notes that he had, but Lord, please just forgive him for, he didn't mean to be unpatriotic. In your name, amen. All right. Let's bring in our featured host. He is the national sales manager for Bolify. My very good friend, the equally bald Todd McGill. What's going on, brother?
Equally bald Todd McGill. What's up with that?
You do have more hair than me. You do. I don't have any. Yeah.
I don't have much.
No.
I just keep cutting mine shorter and shorter just to,
Just shave it, dude. Just get over it, bro.
It's good. It's going to happen. I'll let it work its way out naturally.
That's fair. So what's going on with you, dude?
Not much. I had a pretty exciting week. I did have kind of a crappy Thursday. It must be something in the air. But look what I got.
Oh, I saw it on Facebook. We're matching buddies now.
I mean,
and he wrote you a note. I didn't get a note. You got a nice.
I did get it.
So
I just feel like life is now complete because I have my Chuck Ritchie autograph tape.
All we need is something from Pete Weber, right? And then we're golden, right? We got to guess his stuff, right? At least Chuck was nice enough to send us stuff for free, and we didn't have to guess, how shitty he was going to, bowl in his
how
league.
bad he was going to bowl to get it.
Yeah. Love it, Chuck. But no, that was cool that he sent that to you. That's a very nice note that he sent as well. So, well, good. I'm glad you got that in the mail.
Yeah, it kind of made my week better no matter what.
Yes, absolutely. Our very special guest tonight is Dave Wodka, and it's customary for everybody that we have on the show, any first-time guest, is we play a highlight package. So let's take a look at the highlights from Dave Wodka.
Three times. 2 strikes and 9 for the title. That's the first one. And no emotion from Hoskins on that one.
Boy, Watkins fought so very hard to win that first title. Hoskins seems to strike 9 pins to win. I remember another very good player in P. McCordick, a long, long time before he got his first win, and able to win a couple after that. But you want to get that monkey off your back. And right now, that monkey is Hoskins.
12 years as a touring pro for Steve Hoskins. Going for his 10th title.
Pin. Oh my!
Unbelievable. Made a great shot. Wasn't able to get it done, and it's going to be that man right there.
Dave Wodka. Congratulations. Wodka wins his first PBA title. He's in the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our very special guest, Dave Wodka. Hey, brother, what's going on? Thanks for being here, man.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thanks. Appreciate you letting me fill in for whatever scrub guest you had in the first place. And hey, by the way, if anybody wants to go to Bolify and not use Rad Rob's thing, you can use DWAD 1635 for a discount too.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about right
Touché.
there.
Touché.
And hey, appreciate the clip too. It just shows that I actually used to be pretty good.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I couldn't find anything from the PBA 50 or regional tours. Otherwise, it would have been a pretty long video. But either way, man, hey, look, you bowled against the best of the best, and you won a title. And, Steve Hoskins was obviously not somebody to sneeze at. I mean, you want to talk about a freaking beast and a cranker. But you won, and nobody can take that away from you. And that's what I tell everybody that, was here and, didn't have a tour title. You got one, and you can hang your hat on that.
That is absolutely right. I definitely cherish that moment in my bowling career for sure.
Todd,
yes.
You've been friends with Dave for quite a while. When did y'all start, or when did you first meet Dave?
Oh, goodness. It was probably when I first moved back to Cincinnati from when I got back and started getting back into bowling and hooked back up with Dave Kruder. And really everything that leads even up to what we're doing right now started with Dave Kruder. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. And
that's a fact.
Really it has. Having some of the really cool the charity match that we were able to put together, and Philadelphia Hitmen versus the Cincinnati Snipers. That was actually one of the best. That was one of the coolest times I've had on a bowling lane, or being part of organizing, I guess. But what's it, 15 years now, give or take, Dave, somewhere around there?
It'd probably be about 12 because I moved to Dayton in 2014.
Okay, all right, that's probably close to it.
We probably met in 2015. I moved at the end of 2014.
Okay.
And speaking of Kruder, we have a nickname for Kruder. He's the common denominator.
You know what? That is the perfect nickname for Dave.
Jack said Dave Wodka is never second best.
Hey, shout out to Jack. Miss you, buddy.
He's a good dude. He's a good supporter of the show as well. I appreciate him being here every single week. Del Picard wants to know, where's the glass of bourbon?
Yeah, I just water right now.
Todd, what are you drinking? I forgot you quit.
You already know.
Yeah.
You already know what I got.
I love it. I love the mug too.
Best dad ever.
I mean, it's not accurate, but that's fine.
It is in this household, sir.
Philip Mark says, "Hey Dave, just curious if you still have the Ebonite 8-ball that you used during the late 90s during the Gold Pins era."
I don't have the actual one, but if you look kind of to that side down here,
look right over
there's
here.
An 8-ball. There's an 8-ball on the bottom shelf of that rack over there.
Nice.
That is actually undrilled.
What did you think of the Gold Pins? To me, they were god awful to see on TV, but did they play differently?
I don't know. I never really noticed a huge difference, other than maybe you split a little bit more on them. I didn't really notice a difference in striking more or less. I think you split a little bit more, though. I don't think they flew around quite as much.
When Steve buried that ball and left the 10-pin, what was your initial reaction? Your initial thought on that?
In that exact moment when he actually left the 10-pin, I really don't know what went through my head, but I can tell you what was going through my head when I put my face in the towel before he threw it. And I probably can't share that on any kind of public forum.
Well, you're on YouTube. You can say pretty much what you want on.
Yeah.
Here.
No, I just I had worked really hard to that whole tournament and be in the top seed, and I just said, if I'm ever going to get lucky one time, please let it be right now.
Yeah. Well,
and he made a shot as he always does.
Yeah.
Sure. How did that feel? I mean, just sitting there watching that clip, how'd you feel winning by sitting there watching? Would you rather have the ball in your hand or
yeah, I actually had ball in hand to win.
Okay.
I could have thrown the first one in the 10th to shut him out, and and didn't throw it great. I four-pinned to give him a chance. So, yeah, I mean, a win is a win. You never like to win sitting on the bench, but, you know, at that point, a win is a win.
Yeah, it's something, you know, we all dream about, you know, growing up into sport. And obviously you started out when you were young, as Todd did, as I did. And I mean, you were pretty good early on. When did you really kind of get the itch and you're like, man, I really want to do this, you know, for a living? Was it out of college?
No, God, no. Well before that, I actually didn't go to college. I went straight out on tour.
19 when you started, right? Is that okay? So you never went to college.
So I was probably 12 or 13 when I really decided that's what I wanted to do. I actually started bowling adult leagues and adult tournaments and everything when I was 16.
Oh wow! and being able to
high roller, I bowled the high roller in 1987 when I was 16.
Holy cow!
That's really cool.
I thought Litchie was young, but that's young.
That's actually where I met Litchie.
Oh, nice. Well, that's cool.
He and I traveled together to those tournaments for a while after we met.
He's a cool dude. I grew up in Connecticut. Bradley Bowl was my home center, so I knew Mikey very well and his dad. So
my family's from Connecticut.
Oh, really? What part?
New London.
New London. See, I was northern. I was Windsor, which is you know, obviously right next to Windsor Locks and the northern end of Hartford. So it's funny. As a sports fan, anything south of Hartford, you were a Yankees fan. Anything north of Hartford, you were a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, well, a diehard Yankees fan. If I turn my computer around to the other wall down here, it's all my Yankees memorabilia.
See, that's just the way it is. It's funny just how everything lies in that state. It's pretty much the line of demarcation, like the Mason-Dixon line. That's funny. Kevin for lab, I don't know. Kevin wants to know. Dave, I crossed with these several times. 1990-ish, bowling the Lustig tournaments, like the Very Papa and the Buddy Russell. Do you have any titles from the Lustig tournaments in Long Island?
I do not have a title. I actually finished second at Westbury Bowl to Chris Viale in 1989.
No slouch there either. Holy cow! Yeah, I used to watch him bowl. That guy was incredible. There's so many good bowlers in the Northeast.
Yes, there is.
It's disgusting. That was kind of a hotbed for a long time. Do you ever hang out with Rudy Rez during that time? Were you guys friends at all?
Yeah, we're friends. We still are. I still talk to him a little bit. I wouldn't say we ever like hung out a lot, but I talk to him. I'm friends with him. But I obviously grew up around him just from bowling all the Megabuck tournaments before I went on tour.
Yeah. Talk about a guy that cranks it too. Holy cow! I used to watch him bowl Nebas and just be astonished. It just how much he could put on the ball.
I said I saw him a couple shows ago. I saw him not too long ago when the Bradley was here at Western Bowl, and he was bowling the doubles with Brian Himmler on Friday night. And I forgot Brian was bowling with him, but I know Brian said he was bowling, so I popped down there just to go hang out. And it's like, shit, he's bowling with Rudy. So I hadn't seen him since Super Classic days back at Western Bowl.
Holy cow. That's a long time ago.
Well, he was fun to watch down there too. He was a beast.
He's still fun to watch. He can still put a little bit on the ball.
Yeah, he still gets a little bit on it.
Backswing's a little shorter.
Tour stuff.
Yeah,
we're gonna get him on the show at some point. We've he wants to get on. We just haven't come up with a date yet. But I'd love to talk to Rudy. I haven't seen him since I was a teenager. But in any event, how many years did you spend on the national tour, Dave?
So 10 years in my first stint from 1991 to 2000, and then 7 more years from 2011 to 2017.
So you started before Resin came out.
Yes, I made my first show was actually before Resin.
And then when Resin came out, how did you adjust to that? Because I know a lot of guys, had trouble with it. Others just kind of came naturally, but it's always
a struggle.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a struggle early on. Just different ball motion than what we grew up being used to.
Sure.
You know, I think when it first came out, it definitely helped the straighter players. Not that the straighter players were always great. It just helped them be able to strike a little bit more because it gave them a little more angle through the pins.
I was going to say, it got the ball through the pins a little better.
Yep.
What were you when it came out? What'd you like throwing? Was it the teal?
No, I've been with Ebonite since 1993.
Oh, so you weren't allowed to throw Brunswick?
Turbo X. It was Turbo X for me.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Got my toy in the mail today.
Oh, nice.
It's the Turbo X NU, brand new.
Look at you. That's cool. That's good timing, actually.
Yeah, good promotion with the announcement yesterday.
I figured it was the right place to have it for tonight's show.
Right? No kidding. That's awesome. Yeah, I knew you'd been with Ebonite for a long time. I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah. Into my 33rd year with them now.
What do you like throwing nowadays?
Oh boy, that depends. I mean, I'm unfortunately I'm kind of pigeonholed in a lot of urethane on most of the PBA patterns just because of the lane patterns. My go-tos at league right now are track synthesis. Track synthesis, and actually, Todd, this is going to shock you, but the second ball out of my bag right now is a Black Widow Tour V1.
That does not shock me at all.
Whoa!
Hold on.
Cats
trying to kill you.
Nope, all kinds of windows. I'm still here.
You okay, Todd? I'm going to clip that. I'm going to put that up as a short because that's
perfect. Yeah, that'll be a nice little screenshot for you.
It's awesome. Anyways, you okay, Todd?
Can you see me?
No.
Yep.
Okay, good, because I can't see you either.
I give you such a hard time, and you don't deserve it. I'm just an asshole.
Okay.
It's okay. You're getting used to it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of this window the cat just opened, and I can't.
So I always ask.
Oh, hey.
I always ask the pros I have on here that have won either one title, two titles, three titles, and it's not a disrespectful question. I'm just curious. What was it that kept you from winning more? Have you ever been able to kind of put your finger on it and try to quantify it?
100% my mental game. Not even close.
Yeah.
There's no other reason. It was never a physical thing. It was never not being able to put the right ball in my hand or see the lane right. It's always just been a mental thing with me.
I mean, yeah, we all know you can bowl, obviously. You wouldn't have so many regional titles either if you were a shitty bowler. So, I mean, what? Obviously, you couldn't get out of your own head. What specifically, would happen if you just had a bad game? Would you just
self-doubt?
I mean,
yeah, I just self-doubt.
Really,
lack of confidence sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. Just not being in the right frame of mind some days.
Mm-hmm.
Some days it's okay, some days it's not.
Do you still kind of struggle with that, or?
Yeah, I do.
Really, after all these years? I mean,
probably less than I used to, but it's still not great.
I mean, I think we all go through that at some point, especially when there's that much on the line, and it's obviously a grind, especially back in the day when you had so many tournaments and you're bowling so many more games. Mm-hmm. It's not easy. It's not easy living out of a suitcase and trying to make all the tour stops. And not to say
I think it
now.
I think it can be even harder now because there's less chances. So there's more those guys that are doing it for a living now.
Good point.
There's half the number of tournaments that there used to be. There's less chances for them to have a good week. When I first started, we had 35 tournaments a year. If you had a couple bad weeks, you had 30 other chances. Here you have 2 or 3 bad weeks and a quarter of your season's done.
Yeah.
So I think the mental grind of it maybe is even harder now than it used to be, even though the season is much shorter. I think the longer season maybe made it a physical grind more than anything because it was week after week after week with no days off.
Yeah.
But, now you're trying to make a living, and you basically trying to make a whole year's worth of a living in 14 weeks, 15 weeks.
That's true. Unless you're like, the cream of the crop, you're grinding through PTQs. And if you don't,
the top 5 or 10 guys, and that's about it.
If you don't get through that, you're kind of screwed. And you're right. You don't have time to really make it up. That's a good point. I never really thought of that. I'm sure there is more pressure now, especially if you're not in the crew that has exemptions and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Dave, what are your thoughts? I mean, we've all watched the tour this year, and it's been a pretty exciting year, that's for sure. But I mean, what in the world is going on with all the kids winning this year? I mean, first of all, it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, in my
opinion.
Isn't it cool to not see the same person win every week?
It really is.
I just think it's very cool. It also goes to show you that these kids that are coming out of college are much more prepared than, even when I bowled, we weren't prepared when we first got. You didn't come right out on tour and start winning. You took your lumps for a year or two, and even the best of the best didn't win right away. And if they did win right away, it took them a long time to win again. I look at somebody like Norm. In my opinion, I probably would make a case for Norm being the best of all time. And
fair.
He won at 18 years old and then didn't win again for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Till he won his second title.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't like he just came out and won 10 times right away.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Well, I think some of the kids, and I think about this a lot because I'm, with all my free time,
don't we all?
Yeah, exactly. But I think with some of the tournaments that these kids are able to bowl now in college, and I mean, the college bowling scene is pretty fantastic. The coaching they get, and they kind of have a little taste of the TV action with some of these events that they're able to get into. And it seems like they're all like, I don't know what the right word is.
They're not afraid of the moment.
They're not afraid of the moment, that's for sure, because they have had a little bit of taste of it. But they're all like, they know surface, they know the right time to change balls. I mean, I don't know if they know. They may not be able to change their hand position like, the old days where you had to, but these guys are so well schooled and ready to go when they get out there.
And to me, even if they don't know all of that stuff, even if they're not 100% on what ball to throw or 100% on where to be or 100% on the right surface, they're not afraid of the moment when they get there.
Yeah.
And if somebody puts all those things in their hand, they are not afraid to throw it when they need it. I mean, I look at Brandon Bana and Austin Grammer and Alex Horton and Spencer Robarge, and every one of them got up in the 10th when they needed it. And man, none of them threw it bad.
No.
None of them threw it bad.
No. I mean, Brandon Bonta, the very first show, running the table and shooting 300 against EJ, the very first, on his first time on the show. And Austin Grammer, first time on the show, shoots 299. I mean, it's been exciting, and I think it's really, I don't know, I think it's going to help the tour, quite honestly.
And I don't, it's not done yet. We got
all kinds of animal shows going on, don't we?
Starting Saturday with a whole bunch of people that have never been on TV before. So I'm looking forward to it. Actually, I think it's going to be a fun 4 days of bowling.
What do you think of EJ leading the points and being the most consistent? But if he doesn't happen to win the title, and he's up for a couple, I think he's on a couple shows for the World Series. But let's just say, I mean, the odds are he's going to, but let's just say he doesn't. Do you agree with the way the point system is structured right now? I mean, typically you would want to award.
My short answer is no.
Yeah.
If you're going to, in my opinion, if you're going to use the point list, then just use the point list. and whoever wins the point list wins player of the year. Or if you're going to have a vote, then take the top 10 in points regardless and let people vote on it that way.
Yeah.
Especially when the PBA is advertising him as the points leader, knowing he doesn't have it.
And it's not, and by the way, his points lead isn't even close.
That's not. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, he's
second place could go win a major and not catch him.
In points. Right.
Yeah. That's crazy. I agree. I think it should be structured differently. I don't know when it changed. I know Marshall won 1 year, right? When he didn't win a title.
He is the only one to do that. Yeah, that was in late 80s, I believe.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, EJ's up. He's in a couple of shows. So, I mean, you never know what can happen. And he's so good. He could just,
I would imagine he's going to have 3 chances because he's on 2 of the animal shows and he's going to be on the World Championship show. So he's going to have at least 3 chances here.
He's leading the World Championship show.
I think 2 more title events in Pennsylvania in June.
Yeah.
So he's still got 5 more chances to win.
It's phenomenal watching what he's been able to do. The last several years.
There's no denying that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like when Jimmy Johnson won 6 straight NASCAR championships, I believe it was. Like, it's just something you may never see again. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that are tired of watching him win, but he has a lot of people that are obviously rooting him on to just
the few tournaments I've been out there and actually watched him bowl a little bit. It literally is like watching somebody bowl league.
Yeah. On something super hard, and he just makes it look like a house shot.
On what people do not understand how hard those patterns are because they see the guys averaging 220, 225, 230 on them, and people just don't understand how hard those patterns are.
Yeah.
Not only that, but doing a one-handed, still having 600 revs, and throwing resin when everyone else is in urethane. Like it's stupid how good he is. He's an anomaly. I don't know how he stays in those balls so long when everybody else is making the jump, and he just fuck it. He just does it. He just does his thing.
Gets it done. Yeah, he just gets it done.
Crazy.
I know there's one show I'm crazy looking forward to watching.
Let me guess. Tuesday night.
Is that Ronnie?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever rooted for somebody so hard.
You and me both.
As
Ronnie Russell.
Ronnie to win on Tuesday.
For him to get a win right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I might have to throw a party just because he won, a tournament. Because Ronnie Russell is one. I met him through you, Dave.
Yep.
And when we did the first charity, and I mean, what a great guy. Number one, he shows up and bowls the big tournament that I do every year. Him and EJ ride together and come up and bowl when it was the fall, and now they've showed up a couple times. Hopefully, they're able to make the $10,000 event that's at the end of May 30th and 31st at Gilmore Lanes in Fairfield, Ohio. Anybody interested? Scratch bowling.
Nice plug there.
There you go. But I mean, Ronnie went through a whole bunch where he just couldn't win, and I'd watch him on some of his social media posts, and I thought he was just going to be done, and he was going to just play golf and play guitar in his backyard with a fire around him and just have fun the rest of his life. But for him to win that show Tuesday.
I was going to say, I think if you see him win a couple games on Tuesday and win that title, that may be exactly what you see him doing.
You're probably right.
Into the sunset after that.
Yeah, you're probably right. But yeah, that's the show. I'm rooting for that, and that's the night at the Lanes that I really don't have anything going on. So it's going to be on every TV with the sound blasting inside the center on Tuesday night.
Love it.
So
yeah, I'll be watching the couple senior shows on Saturday and Sunday too to root on my long-time best friend, Mr. Couch, as the top seed on the first 2 senior shows.
He still throws it okay.
You think?
Yeah. He's an asshole though.
Well, we all know that. I remember him and Kruder were somewhere out of town, and they were rooming together. And Kruder's on the phone with me talking, and I have no idea what we were talking about. And I hear Couch in the background. He says, "Get off the fucking phone and order the pizza like you're supposed to."
Yeah, we were either at Nationals or in Costa Rica, one of the two.
It was probably Nationals, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep telling Cruder I got to make that trip to Costa Rica with you guys one year just to go. I don't have to go bowl. I just need to go and hang out.
It's a blast, that's for sure.
I feel bad for JJ for having an issue with his finger. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that just about makes every freaking show. It's
not just about, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just amazing. We've had him on a couple times, and just to listen to him talk about the sport for an hour and a half, 2 hours, it's like sitting under a learning tree, right? Like it's almost like he invented bowling at this point.
You'd be hard pressed to find somebody with more knowledge about the sport than him.
It's incredible. He's like a bowling savant. Like he's a freaking Terminator. So unfortunately, he had to drop out of one event, but I mean, he's just going to come back a couple weeks later and run, and run the table too. But it was good to see Danny Wiseman get one on him because Danny.
That was cool. I texted Danny right afterwards. That was very cool to see.
Yeah, he's such a good guy. I love Danny. We talk a lot too, and the fact that he only bowls one time a year, and he always makes the show as well. Like just
right.
If he ever decided to get the itch, which I don't think he will, he could still compete with those guys. So it was cool to see him win. But JJ is such a good guy, and he's so humble. And I texted him, I'm like, dude, sorry about your finger injury. He's like, it's the way the cookie crumbles. I'll be back in a couple of weeks.
It's no big deal.
Yeah, right.
I'll be back in a couple of weeks and I'll win then.
Right, exactly. He's amazing. I love listening to him talk and watch him bowl. Unfortunately, Troy Linton was having issues this year. He's another friend of our show, and he just couldn't figure out the World Series. So it's hard.
He'll be back also.
He will. Just coming off of injuries and just trying to find the confidence again, because we all know, he's amazing, but he just has to kind of get out of his own head and
it's tough
figure it
coming
out.
back from something like that, especially when right before he had the surgeries and everything, he was on top of the world. He won Player of the Year, and then he had to go out for surgery. It's hard mentally to come back from that.
It really is. And speaking of mentally, Ryan Schaefer's at his, at wit's end as well. I don't know if you guys saw his post on Facebook the other day.
I sure did.
But it's not.
I did not.
The point to where you're like, what am I doing this for? Like, if I'm not happy playing anymore, like there's no point in doing it.
He's the same thing. I mean, he just had knee replacement too. So he's just coming back from knee replacement, which is not an easy thing to come back from either.
Yeah, it really isn't. So
unfortunately, we're all at that age.
I was going to say things start to crumble every year. And
I'm going to go for the PBA 50 tour on the 27th of this month. So maybe I'll go out there like a JJ and get on the tour and just go at it. Can you imagine what JJ would have done if he bowled the national tour all those years? Do you think he'd do well, Dave, or do you think?
I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would have done well. But that's always such a. It's always a what if. Like, maybe he wasn't in the same headspace that he's in now.
Right.
Maybe that grind is different than it is now. He's bowled his entire life, and he's bowled at a very, very high level. He's never bowled week in, week out for a living.
Yeah.
It's just a different animal when you do it that way. It is so hard to explain to people. I talk to my friends here at home that I bowl with and try to explain that, and it just is so hard to explain what a grind it is to try to do that for a living. So, would JJ have been successful? Absolutely. There's no doubt. Would he have won? I'm sure. Would he have dominated like he's dominating the senior tour? That's a question that we'll never know the answer to.
And you got to think now, like he's fresh, right? Like he didn't have all those road miles, wearing them out, bowling every week. So,
well, he's got them. He just didn't. He doesn't have them as the grind of bowling for a living, but he's got them with his job. traveling all over doing lanes and his job that he does. So, he's got the miles on it, just in a different way.
Yeah, and he takes such good care of his body too. Like he's just he's a machine. He's one of a kind. So hopefully he'll come back.
Speaking of logging some miles here, a couple of years ago, Dave took on this new role where he was the sales manager here in the United States, right? And I mean, you went from being our Midwest region guy to the national sales manager and now the international sales guy. And I see your Facebook stuff where you're, in Germany or you're in Sweden. It's like, so how is that going?
It's awesome. It's different. There's a lot for me to learn as with taking any new position in any company, any job. There's a lot for me to learn. Bowling internationally operates much differently than it does in the United States. Some of it, in my opinion, a lot better. When it comes to actually I tell kind of all the time to the people I talk to, like when I go bowl something internationally, the atmosphere is different. It's not, again, they're not doing it for a living, so it's not as cutthroat. Everybody's not always angry. People are genuinely happy to root you on and hope you bowl well. And it's just a different atmosphere, and people have more fun doing it. And I think that, unfortunately, our sport has lost some of that. Like, I get the guys that bowl on tour are doing it for a living, and it was never necessarily quote unquote fun for me when I did that either. But anything outside of that, there's got to be a fun aspect to it, or eventually people are going to quit.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
There isn't any of us getting rich going and bowling weekend tournaments. It's maybe make a little extra pocket change. Maybe, you have fun with your buddies on the weekend. Nobody's getting rich doing it, but everybody treats it as it's life or death. And that's the biggest difference I see overseas, is that people don't treat it that way.
Interesting.
Simo's looking for help. Anybody wants to hire somebody to do?
His posts have been fantastic this week too.
He's been on fire this week for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's again, that kind of goes back to what I said about the season being short. And you're at the end of the season now, and the guys that haven't had necessarily a season that they think they should have had are fried because, they're out of chances now.
Yeah.
Season's over.
Yeah. Kyle Tripp.
They literally have like one or two more events.
Yeah.
The season's over.
Scott's killing me up here.
That's all they say. Is he working tonight?
Yeah, he's at work tonight.
Scott, get to work, bro. Jeez, you got nothing to do.
He's bartending down at the lanes, and I would imagine there's no league or anything starting tonight, so he's down there watching and probably playing on his computer.
Kyle Tripp is the same way. He just posted yesterday or today about just the struggle this year. He struggled the last couple of years, and we all know how good he is. But for whatever reason, it's just not translating to any wins or anything like that. It's bowling, right? You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
Just like the kids are winning this year, and like Kyle and Simo, and a lot of Belmo's bounced back from last year, but still isn't like right there. And who knows? That may change in a couple of weeks. If he wins a couple tournaments. But
there isn't anybody that would have predicted how this season's gone.
No, never. Especially the CW had to be loving it, like seeing all these young kids win, like.
And not only that, but the matches, all the title matches were exciting. They were all good. They were all close. I if I'm not mistaken, all but maybe one of them came down to the 10th frame.
Yeah. The CW could not have scripted it any better than what it was.
No,
to be
not
honest.
really. Nope.
How do you think the CW has done this year, Dave?
I do.
I think Kyle Sherman's coming along very well. I think he's doing a great job. I actually saw him at the Masters and pulled him aside and told him that I thought he was doing a great job. So I think as he learns more, I think he's going to be very, very good at it. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think having him and Chris Barnes in the booth would be amazing.
Agreed.
That would be a nice combination for sure.
And if you think about it, obviously it's always been straight man, play-by-play, and the color guy. But why can't we have two bowlers in the booth? I don't know if it's ever really been done before, unless you count like Mike Durbin and Earl Anthony and Mike, whoever else he had.
But they were never. Durbin and Earl were never in the booth together because Denny Schreiner was always in with one of them.
That's right. You're right. That's right. Yeah. So I mean, why not do it now? I mean,
I mean, it's. I think they would be very good together.
Nothing against Rick Allen, who tried his best.
Nothing against.
Still pissed over the Nate Garcia thing. He didn't have to bring that shit up on TV, but no, I mean Rick tried, and Rob Stone did a lot for the sport when he was with Fox. When Belmo was on the show, he kind of put Rob over about how much he actually loved the sport and how much he tried. He did for to get them on Fox and help them out. And Dave Ryan's great too. I thought Dave Ryan's did a fantastic job. I'm pretty sure he's going to be with Randy on CBS Sports when they pick it up.
Actually, Kyle Sherman was hired by CBS Sports.
Oh, he was? I missed that. Okay.
Yep. So Kyle's going to be, obviously he's not doing the shows that he's on.
Right.
He's on the Shark Show for sure, I think.
He's on two shows, and if I was a betting man, I'd bet that Barnes will sit in on those two shows and do those when Kyle can't do them.
So Randy's not going to do it now? Is that
as far as I've heard? Randy is not going to be doing any of the CBS ones either.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah, because I looked it up last week because I wasn't sure, and that's what I had read. But I knew with the Bowl TV deal as well. Like, how could Randy?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm 99% sure I read that CBS picked up Kyle as well.
Okay.
I did hear that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Glad I don't know shit and I host a show. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Way to go, Rob.
Yeah, it's par for the course. I mean, I don't even know how we made it this far. So, no, that'll be good. It'll be good to see Kyle back out there because I really did think he kind of found his groove. And obviously, they didn't have a lot of shows, to build some chemistry. But
yeah, I look at that as everybody has a first day, and I'm sure if you went back and watched Bo Burton's first show or Marshall's first show or Durbin's first, everybody probably made their mistakes or it was a little awkward or whatever, but they all got better because they were given the time to grow into that role. And I believe Kyle will do very well in that role.
And it does help that all those guys were bowlers, where you got a guy coming in like John Fanta and Rick Allen that don't know the sport, and just have to learn it on the fly. And it's not easy, especially scorekeeping and all that. Learning which pin is what and all that.
What a 7-pin or a 10-pin is.
Yeah, just learning the terminology too, because the terminology in bowling, it's very different, and a lot of times it changes every year.
True. Well, we don't have any more ham bones.
We could be talking about the same thing next year and calling it something different.
Right. Todd's happy that we don't have any ham bones anymore.
That's a true statement. That is a true statement. I do not miss ham bone.
No, you've made that quite clear on the show.
Yes.
I was going to put it in my soundboard just to piss you off, but
it probably wouldn't work, Rob. You can put it on there. You can try to piss me off. That probably wouldn't do it.
Really? Okay. Oh, y'all want to chat a little bit? I can throw it in right now. I'm just kidding. I won't.
That's reverse psychology, so he doesn't do it.
So how much time do you have to bowl now, Dave, since you're all over the place?
I try to bowl as much as I can, but I just don't. And I say this, I don't. It's not that I don't have the time to bowl. It's that I don't necessarily have the time to practice to get sharp in order to compete at the level that I want to compete at.
Yeah.
So I've never been one to just go bowl for the sake of bowling. Like, if I don't think I have a chance to win, I'm just not going to put my shoes on. And unfortunately, when it comes to that very high level of bowling, I don't put the time into it. And I'm going to pop out and bowl one tournament this year. And, the expectations for me to go out and bowl one time and beat those guys that are sharp and been bowling. And it's just not that easy to do.
So on your Sunday morning tournaments, are you saying that you don't show up to bowl when you know Mike Dole's going to be there?
Well, I will say that the times I've won this year, I think every one of them he hasn't been there.
Yeah. You always make sure you put that in your post. I want to thank Mike Dole for not showing up today.
And maybe vice versa. The times he's won, with the exception of one, I don't think I was there on the times he won.
But you guys are splitting everything, right?
No, we got a heated battle for player. We got a heated battle for player of the year.
Yeah, explain that little. That's a cool little setup you guys have going on up there.
It's Northway Lanes Fight Club. So shout out to Northway Lanes. They are actually one of my sponsor partners. But yeah, Ted there runs this Sunday morning event, and it actually started during COVID when nobody had anything to do, and he would kind of open the bowling center without telling anybody, and we'd go in there and bowl. But it's everybody. You bowl 2 games of qualifying. Everybody makes the cut, and then the highest seed gets to pick who they want to bowl and on what pair. And it's single game elimination till we get down to a winner. And every round, whoever the highest seed left is gets to pick, and it just goes down the list. So it's Fight Club. You get to call people out. It's fun. It's
such a cool.
He's created this niche. And I'll say this. I don't mind saying it. Even whatever. There's not money in it. It's you win a couple $100 for winning, but there's a core group of about 20 or 25 guys that bowl almost every week. And then with the other random people that show up, we very, very seldom get less than 40, and we've had as many as 80 on a Sunday morning for a $35 sweeper, basically.
That's cool.
Kind of like your Sunday night sweepers were at Coleraine, Todd.
Sunday night sweepers at Coleraine were where it was, Dave. That was such a great time.
This is kind of turned into a cult following like that.
Yes, and that was 100%. It was.
We've even our thing starts at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, and we've got a group of us that meet for breakfast at 8 o'clock now before we go.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Every week. So it just has become a fun thing, and it's competitive. There's a lot of good bowlers that bowl. Mackenzie's there. He's been there the last few weeks for sure.
It's more bragging rights, right? Because obviously you're not doing it for money. It's just
it's all sanctioned. He keeps track of stats and everything. We do a player of the year, and they give out a nice guy award every year, which I cannot for the life of me understand why I don't win that every year. I just blows my mind. But so the way the player of the year works, it's based on wins. And then if there's a tie for wins, the tiebreaker is how many entries were there in the weeks that you won. So if you win the bigger ones, you have a better chance of winning, which unfortunately for me, Dole won the New Year's Day one, which had 75 people. So I'm a few behind him, even though we're tied in wins.
So you need to win with 30 people, and I win with 70 people. So
we need to get him out of town on a Sunday. So
we got 2 weeks left, and we're actually both going to be there this week. So we'll see how that goes.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, you guys live stream that because you totally should.
No, I mean I'm surprised Ted hasn't done that yet, but
that would be fun to watch. I would absolutely.
Ted's awesome. That Northway Lanes is such a cool place. They do an unbelievable job of promoting bowling. It's refreshing to see a center like that. We bowl there a couple times a week. We bowl league there in the winter, and it's a fun atmosphere to go to. Everybody's laid back, and it's a 50 lane center that's completely full of league every night.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and it's hard to find. It's hard to find with
a bigger Coleraine bowl.
Right. Well, I mean, it's again, with Bolero taking up a lot of the centers and just other centers closing down because they just can't afford to stay open. It's hard to find those centers like that. people love going to, and it's few and far between. Like Bradley Bowl is no longer a thing.
No,
so.
I actually had made a TV show there, and then I walked in there while Litchie still had the pro shop, because Litchie was one of my customers at the time. And, you know, the lanes where they had the TV show pair is now a bar.
Oh, Jesus. That's sad. That
make Rob cry.
No, that hurts my soul. I grew up there. I bowled there since I was 6 up until I moved to Tennessee in 2011. So at that time, they were still doing leagues, but it's just I haven't been up there since. I can't even bring myself to even go near it. I bowled my first pro-am ever at Bradley Bowl. Did you?
Yeah, I was 6 years old.
Who'd you bowl with?
Marshall Holman, Sam Flanagan, and Dennis Swada.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Great, you remember all 3 of them.
Well, there's a thing hanging in my basement of me and Marshall, because my mom still had the picture of us from when I was 6, and then when I won my national title, Marshall was the commentator.
Oh man, full circle.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is very, very cool. So you understand how cool that place was, and how it was for the tour, and how many just freaking absolute legends went through there. And Red Burnham was always great, always ran, he was amazing. And, his brother Bob ran the snack bar at one point, and JR was doing the pro shop, and, it was a family thing.
My buddy Couch won his first title there.
Yeah, he did. I was actually there for that. Ricky Ward was bowled great there in his short span. It's unfortunate. Pete Weber won his first title there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history there. Yeah. And it sucks. It sucks to see centers like that go by the wayside, and it is what it is. I guess that leads me to my last question is, with the advent of the string pins, and now how much research USBC has put into it, and Brunswick and AMF and everybody have trying to dial them in. Have you bowled on the certified ones?
I have.
What were your thoughts?
They just don't bother me at all.
They don't.
It is what it is. My score, I don't believe my score itself is different.
Mm-hmm.
You might get there a different way, but the score itself is not any different. You might make a freak spare by a string, but you're also not going to strike as much.
Right.
It's actually harder to strike on the strings.
I was going to say your ball angle has to be just right.
Yes,
to strike on the strings.
You have to actually throw it better to strike on the strings.
And that's why league bowlers hate them. And that's why the pros don't give a shit. So, I mean, you and Ryan and everybody that bowled on them, like, nobody's complaining about them. They say,
no, we don't. I could care less. If in the grand scheme of things, they're coming whether we like it or not. And the biggest factor to that is, and Todd, you'll appreciate this, because you ran a center that had a lot of competitive bowling. What's the hardest position in the bowling center to fill?
Mechanic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mechanics are the hardest to find. They're the most expensive because they're the hardest to find.
Yeah.
And the average mechanic is probably in their 60s at this point. And kids these days, other than Simo, don't want to go work on lane machines. They don't want to go work on pin setters. They don't want to do that kind of stuff.
Nope.
So if going to string pin setters is what saves bowling, I'm all for it.
Couldn't agree more.
I don't know that it's going to happen in my lifetime, but I don't think we're that far off of every center that's 20 lanes or less will have string pins.
Yeah.
Because
there's a
centers
center
can't afford a mechanic.
Right.
Yeah. There's a center here in town. If I ever had the money, or somebody just had FU money and said, hey, I want to buy this bowling alley, Todd, what do you want to do with it? 100% I would rip out the machines that they have, because they're just old machines, and I would put strings in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, we're selling a lot of them. I mean, obviously I don't work on that side of the business. I only work on the consumer goods side, but I see it every day. We actually just installed 4 of our 6 lanes in our studio in the office now have strings.
Oh, cool.
Why not?
Yeah.
I haven't bowled on them yet. They just got installed a couple weeks ago, so we're actually bowling on them next week. But I just, it's coming. Whether we like it or not, it's coming. And if anybody tells you, well, I'm quitting because of string pins, they're just looking for an excuse.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're just not good enough.
Yeah, they're just looking for an excuse. It is what it is.
It is, and that's kind of what I.
By the way,
yeah.
The same people are still going to win.
That's true.
I was just going to say the same thing.
We don't. The same people.
The same guy's still going to win. Yeah, that's right.
The better bowler is still going to win.
Better bowler that day is still going to win.
Yep, that's right. And you may not see some of these outliers because they may be a spray and pray kind of player, and you just can't. You can't have those results with strings.
You just don't get. You don't get that on the. You don't get a lot of those split breakups where pins fly off the wall, and you just don't get a lot of that on the strings.
Yep, no messengers, a lot of flat 10, a lot of flat.
Yeah, a lot of flat 10s, but what you don't see on them is solid 8s and solid 9s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't really see those on the strings.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not nearly as much.
And I'm sure 710s will probably be harder to pick up because, almost anybody. Remember back in the day when Ross picked up on TV and it's like the greatest freaking thing you ever saw in your life. And now you go on like the house bowling and you just watch them bowl in 30 lanes and just go pick them off and pick 20 out of 30.
You also have guys that throw it 25 miles an hour now where you didn't have that back in the day.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah. So, well, look, like you said, I'm in the same boat. If it keeps the sport open, I'm all for it. I don't care what you have to do because we all love the game. And we don't want to see Bolero and everything. We don't want to see the mom and pops go by the wayside. So I'm all for it. EJ obviously knew that. He was ahead of the curve.
Yeah, that's actually a great thing to promote strings. Like the best bowler in the world currently. Put strings in his center. In
his bowling center. I've been there. I ran a sweeper there. I went up there just because I wanted to go check him out.
Yeah.
And actually, I was up there twice. I was up there once to run a tournament, and then I went up when they had a regional in there. And I went in with a complete open mind because I'd really never seen him work. And I was pleasantly surprised watching him go. And how you can set the strings for different lengths depending on what you have going on for the competitive bowling or shorten them up for
that's
parties
the thing
and whatever.
With the Brunswick, with the Boost ST Brunswick machines, they have the optimized pin length, string length.
Yeah.
So you actually can set it right from the scoring monitors for either recreation or competitive.
That's cool.
That's fantastic.
So that you can change it right from your keypad to make it certified for competitive.
It's literally a game changer. Not like literally.
Yes.
And figuratively, it's a game changer.
Right. It is.
The only thing I miss is just hearing the pin cycle through the pin decks and the masking units. I'm going to miss that sound if we go to strings. I just love the sound of pins.
They're quiet.
They're so quiet. Like
they're quiet.
Turning on 40 pairs of lanes and you just hear.
Yeah.
Okay. It's almost like a Tesla.
Yeah. It's definitely a different atmosphere just because of the lack of noise.
Right.
And there's Scott chiming in once again.
By pile ups, knots, but the knots work themselves out. Like
they do.
You're not having to wait 10 minutes for a mechanic to frickin', fix a rack or whatever. Like
nope.
You won't get that anymore. And you're like, watching the strike derbies when the PBA does the All-Star Weekend thing, like I think it was last year. Like I don't know how many breakdowns they had, but you're trying to throw as many strikes as you can within a certain amount of time, and you're waiting for a reset and a re-rack. Like obviously, you won't have that issue with the string machines. So there's drawbacks, but there's to me, I think there's more benefits than there are any negatives, and you're going to get. Back in my day, you got to get the old people that don't want to bowl on them. And look, I'm a traditionalist too. I'm almost 50. I understand it, but I also understand business as well, and how cost effective they are.
Every sport evolves, and if you're either going to evolve with it or you're going to quit. And if you quit, that's just an excuse.
Yep, that's exactly right. Todd, anything else?
Yeah, there was a couple things I wanted to kind of get to real quick. And I know, Dave, just real quick with your time working for Ebonite and Brunswick and, what got you into wanting to work in this business and being part of it for so long? I mean, you are, and I put this in, when I did your little write-up, that you are probably one of the hardest working guys in the game, outside of the game. I mean, to help sell it. And I've said this to you before, you are a guy that I look up to no matter what. And I always will, because of how hard you work and what your goal is and what you try to do. But I mean, what drives you to get up and go to work the next day, and what keeps you in the bowling business, especially with it, in a lot of transition and I don't know if you want to call it turmoil, but the transition of the bowling game. I mean,
just passion for the sport. It's the only industry I've ever been in. I grew up in it. I know a lot of people know. I don't know if Rob knows this, but my mom bowled on the ladies tour in the 70s and 80s. We were the first mother and son to have professional titles. They owned a bowling center when I was young. They owned pro shops when I was young. And growing up, through that, I've worked for a distributor. I've worked for a manufacturer. I've run tournaments. I've been in your position and been a tournament director.
Yeah.
I've worked for every single aspect of the bowling industry, and I just love it. And I want to promote the sport. I want to make the sport better. I think, unfortunately, as I get older, as with all of us, I think we have our probably more hardened opinions on things. And
sure.
But ultimately, I just want the sport to succeed. And while I don't agree with a lot of the things that are happening, I still just want the sport to succeed. And, that's what makes me get up every day. And now seeing it in other parts of the world, it actually gives me hope.
That's awesome. I think you brought me a guy, Tomas Kaiko, didn't
Tomas
you get me introduced? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got me introduced with him, and he's a Bowlify guy now because of you.
Yeah.
Reaching out to me about him. We did his deal at like 3:45 in the morning because of where he was, and he messaged me. He messaged me and he's like, "I think we're good to go. I'd love to come work for you as far as a staffer with Bowlify." And I replied to him. And he goes, "I was not expecting anybody to answer this time of what time it is in your country." And it's like, you never know when I'm going to be awake, buddy.
Yeah, well, in my new position now, I used to joke when I had my domestic position. I used to joke about getting calls at all hours of the day and whatever. But now it actually is true.
Now
I literally get calls and emails at all hours of the day.
Yeah,
because I've got customers all around the globe.
Yeah. And the only other thing, and I mean, like I said, I'm proud to have been able to become your friend and be around you in the bowling world again. I look up to what you do, and I always try to emulate what you do. And I pay attention. And you're one of those guys that you just. There's only a few people in the bowling game that I look up to, and you are definitely right at the top of that list. You had a little health scare a couple years back. I don't know. I don't know that everybody knows that. Rob, you probably don't know that.
Yeah.
We were actually getting ready to go on a cruise together.
We were. We had to cancel our cruise together because
we had to cancel a cruise. And Dave, do you mind sharing a little bit about that and how you've come out of it?
Not at all. I was diagnosed in November of 2022. I was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer.
Oh, no.
And I went through 7 weeks of chemo and radiation, and that was it's just hard. One of my good friends who was actually my tour rep at the time I won my title is Del Ballard. And most people in the bowling world know that he went through some major health issues. And what I had is exactly the same thing that he had. So during that whole time of me going through that, I think I talked to him every single day through text messaging, and he was a huge part of helping me get through that, as well as my wife Missy. She was a trooper. I basically couldn't get off the couch. I couldn't sleep laying down because it hurt, so I had to sleep sitting up, and she slept on the couch next to me for 12 weeks, basically.
Wow.
I think about it, and as hard as it was on me, I think it's sometimes even harder for the people around you because there's literally nothing they can do to help you.
Yeah.
And then the outpouring of messages that I got just literally from around the world, and people that would come to Muskegon and would reach out to Missy and ask if it was okay if they came and visited me. Because I literally didn't get off the couch for about 12 weeks. So yeah, it was pretty difficult, but I never missed a day of work during the whole thing. I got on my computer every morning and answered my emails and then put it away for the day. But I went back to the office about probably 5 weeks after my last treatment. I was my first day back in the office, and then I made my first road trip a week after that to Ohio and actually bowled a regional.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It wasn't great, but it was something I needed to do mentally.
You did it, yeah.
It was something I needed to do mentally.
Yeah.
I mean, there's guys that or gals that would go through something like that would just pack it up and mail it in. And you did not.
Oh, I thought about it. Believe me.
I'm sure you did.
That conversation happened.
Yeah. You had every reason to do that. Sure.
Yeah.
But you didn't, and you came out stronger, and now you're taking on bigger roles within the company. And I mean, like I said, I guess it's weird to say somebody that you look up to as much as I do. I'm proud of you too.
Well, I appreciate that. And I really appreciate the kind words too. I try to always treat people in the bowling industry like, and for the most part in all of life, but especially in the bowling industry, I try to treat people like I want to be treated in the industry. And I try to respect people in the industry for what they've done and what they do. And that's really all I ask in return. And, we're all in it for the same goal. Every one of us that works in this industry, none of us are getting rich. This isn't a multi-billion-dollar industry. None of us are getting rich, but we all are in it because we love it and we all have passion for it. And it keeps a lot of us employed. And, for me, in the 33 years I've been with Ebonite, I've never one time got up in the morning and felt like I was going to work because I'm doing something that I love. And there's not a lot of people in the world that can say that. So I do feel very fortunate about that. And I feel very fortunate for all the friends that I've made along the way.
Of course.
Everything in my life, basically, everything I've ever gotten in my life is because of bowling. So I tell people all the time when I see somebody that, they seem entitled, well, bowling owes me this and that.
Yeah.
Bowling doesn't owe you anything.
That's right.
And for me, it especially doesn't owe me anything. And that's why I try to give back as best I can, even to the point of, I'll be the first to admit, when I was younger, I did not want to bowl pro-ams. I used to try to get out of them. I used to try to ask out of them. But now, it's time for me to give back. And when I get asked to bowl a pro-am, I do.
Very cool. Really cool, man. And thank you for sharing your story, because I wasn't aware of that. And it's funny, like back in the 80s and 90s, I don't think cancer was as prevalent as it is now. And I mean, you can factor in, the food and, everything around us, cell phones, COVID, whatever has kind of changed our DNA, right? And made us more susceptible to stuff. And I have a friend from church who has stage 4 bone cancer. I have another friend of mine who just got diagnosed with stage 4 bone cancer as well. And you just hear these stories all the time. And it makes you wonder, like, am I going to get it? Right. Cause like, you never know. Like, you can be the healthiest person.
They told me when I was diagnosed that the form of cancer that I got, they said it happens to 1 in 5 people.
No kidding. Wow.
That will be affected by it in some way, shape, or form. And it's, I'm fortunate because what I got was the most treatable.
Sure.
But it's also because of where it was at is the hardest one to go through.
Right.
Yeah. Because I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. Like, I lost 50 pounds in 7 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember seeing a picture of you and it's like, I don't want to see that picture again until he's eating again. Because it was frightening. It was not you.
Yeah. Nope. I lived on water and sweet tea for about 6 weeks.
Man, that's rough, dude. And I like to eat. I'm a big guy.
So do I.
Right? I can't imagine going through that, man. I'd be like, do I really want to go through treatment? But yeah, no, I get it.
Again, my team of doctors was amazing. My support system around me with my wife and my close friends and my coworkers, and it just was, they were really the reason that I was able to get through it as good as I did.
Well, God bless you.
And I'm always happy to talk about it and share my story because, somebody I'm going to meet tomorrow probably has the same story.
Yeah.
I've already talked to, in the 3 years since my treatments, I've talked to a half a dozen people that have had it or are going through it. And for me to be able to help them or, explain to them that, this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to go, because the doctors can prepare you for the physical side of it. They cannot prepare you for the mental side of it.
Right. Yeah, it's good to have that testimony to show others.
Well, and I feel like I would probably be the same way and want to share that story because I try to do this in other aspects. But if I can help one person with my story or with my stupid dad jokes get through a hard day or whatever the case is, if you can help one person through your day with what you're saying and what your words are, then you feel like your day's fulfilled. And I mean, with other people and being able to help them in any way, shape, or form, no matter what it is, it takes a strong guy to be able to do it. And it's just another testament to what kind of person you are.
Well, again, I appreciate the kind words, and I just try to do the right thing and try to help where I can.
Yep. Well, you're good at it.
I feel bad for busting your balls at the beginning of the show about you being.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I was just saying that he does not.
I'm just glad I could fill in for whoever it was.
You understand Northeasterners. It's just the way we are. We're natural assholes and we're ball busters.
I get it. I completely understand.
You're not soft, but no, it's fine. No. I do appreciate you being here, especially on short notice. And
yeah, no problem. I'm happy to come back anytime.
Yeah, because there's a lot more we can get into. But I love what you do for the sport, especially internationally. Speaking of which, before I wrap it up, I know Tim Mack bowls for the enemy, but he's done so much for the international bowling community.
Yep.
Have you picked his brain? When you get
Tim and I talk quite a bit.
That's cool. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, we're actually pretty good friends. We talk quite a bit. I keep my tabs on him as he's going through all his surgeries and all the other stuff.
He's going through a lot too. Yeah.
It was he made a little run at one of the tournaments in Korea back in the fall, and it was kind of cool to see him make a little run at that. But I enjoy my time when I do get to see him, and he's kind of been I would say the U.S. pioneer of the international bowling world.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, for sure. And such a great guy too. And too bad we can't pull him over to Brunswick.
Yeah.
He's a lifer, obviously, just like you
I was gonna say,
that's
there's
okay.
some of us that aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, you're cut from the same cloth. I mean, Parker and Johnny Sr. pretty much, almost founded Brunswick, for crying out loud. So
yeah, Tim's the same way there. Couch is the same way at Ebonite.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming on, man. I really do appreciate it. It was great to meet you. Todd's been wanting to get you on for a while, and I'm like, really? Why do you want him? I can't help it.
I get it. I wouldn't either. When he texted me and asked me if I wanted to come on, I'm like, you can't find anybody better.
Obviously, Scott Shores was going to be that guy, but he had to work at the lanes tonight. So
yeah. We're really, really just throwing shit at the wall and just see what sticks and see who wants to answer the phone. But no, it's
Well, like I said, I'm happy to fill in any other time you need me to fill in.
I mean, and if you want to fill in for Todd at some point too, you can. All
right, well there you have it.
Anyway, man, no, seriously, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for sharing your story and just being allowed to learn about you. Because
no problem.
It's very hard to find information about you online. I'm just saying. I know I screwed.
Yeah, I'm aware.
We see or bowl.com for that. But anyway, no, I'm done busting your balls, man. It really was a treat to have you on, man. I in all seriousness, I appreciate you coming on and we'll definitely have you on again in the future for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd look forward to it and love to come on anytime. So Todd, thanks for hooking that up and thanks for doing what you do as well.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Thanks, man. Have a great night, man. And we'll talk.
All right. Sounds good. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Man. Take care.
See ya.
I love the fact that he can take the ball because somebody, Todd, somebody freaking.
I've been out at bars with that guy and several other people, and he will take it, but he's not afraid to give it either. He's funny as hell.
I love that. I love how it drops. Like, if you want to do Rad Rob's discount code, you can hit up mine. That's
yeah.
I expect that. It's like mutual ball busting, and it's hard to find now, man. The young kids don't know how to do that anymore. Like, they have no social skills whatsoever.
No, that's for sure. We've had them on the show before.
Poor Austin. I'm telling you.
I wouldn't get to name any names. Jesus.
I don't give a shit. I'll throw him under the bus. It's fine. But no, I mean, it's like we're talking about like most of the young kids still have that swagger, on the lanes, and it is fun to see that this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens for the rest of the season, to see how it plays out. And to see if EJ wins his title, to see if Belmo wins another major, if he makes the World Series show. I know last I checked, like a few hours ago, Belmo had 5 games to go, and he was kind of right on the cusp of making the World Championship show. But there's just so many storylines that play out this year.
Oh, there's storyline after storyline after storyline, and that it's not going to change for the World Series. I'm pretty excited about watching how this all unfolds this next week and a half.
I'm excited to see the PBA 50 stuff too, and I'm so glad they get to be featured on national television because you want to talk about just the murderer's row. Still, like it's literally the previous generation. They're just all in a different league now.
And they're still really good.
Right? Like there's no way they shouldn't have some kind of a TV deal, even if it's on a secondary channel. But I'm glad CBS Sports is picking up the World Series for the PBA 50 because that's going to be fun to watch too, especially to see if Couch can win again, after having his own knee issues, right? Didn't he have a knee replacement or something?
He sure did.
Yeah. So lots of good storylines left for the season. What do you got going on at Gilmore?
So Dave and I actually, we had another bowling center guy kind of gave me this idea, Jerry, and he messaged me and he's like, man, you got to put some big money tournament together. And Dave and I got together, and my idea was to bring scratch bowling back to Cincinnati on Thanksgiving weekend. Mm-hmm. And that's when we had it the first couple years. And it was the Ebonite Fall Classic. And it was literally just that. It was scratch bowling, 4-game qualifying sets, and we'd have 4 or 5 different qualifying blocks throughout the weekend. Friday night, Saturday, and then Sunday is the finals. And Sunday was a marathon for you to make the show, because we live streamed everything. Mm-hmm. We have since moved that to spring because everybody now has tournaments that just cover the entire Thanksgiving weekend.
That figures.
And it's just, everybody can pick and choose, and which is fine. That's the bowling needs that.
Right.
So we moved it to May, and it's always going to be the first weekend in May every year. This year, unfortunately, we couldn't because the ladies stayed at the center, or fortunately, whatever you want to look at. So it's on May 30th and 31st, and it's 4 games of qualifying. It's $100 entry, $80 re-entry if you choose to re-enter.
Oh, cool.
And there's qualifying squads all day Saturday. It's on something very hard. And then if you make the cut to Sunday, you triple your entry. It's $300 just to make to Sunday. So the squad leader and the top 20% of the rest of the field make Sunday.
Nice.
$10,000 added prize money. You see all my ball raffles that I do.
Yep.
100% of the ball raffles that I'm doing goes into that to make that $10,000 prize fund. And we said Dave Kruder's name earlier on the show. Mm-hmm. He's one of the sponsors. Brian Himmler is one of the sponsors. They made up half of it. And then Brunswick Bowling makes up the other half of it with bowling balls, whether I purchase them at a discounted price or get them at zero price.
Yeah.
And that's how I make the money for the tournament. And, you get couple hundred entries, you can pay $7,500, $8,000 on top for a weekend $100 entry tournament.
Especially with your rebuys. I mean, that's really cool.
Being able to re-enter at $80. Yeah. That's right.
Rebuy, that's a poker term.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing. So that 30th and 31st, and since Fairfield, Ohio, at Gilmore Lanes, it's on wood at our center, and it kind of added a new little feature to it. EJ came in and bowled there the first couple of years that it was there.
That's awesome.
It just depends on what's happening, for him on the tour for that time. And I mean, he went on record saying it's the best. These were the best wood lanes that he'd ever bowled on.
Wow.
And I will say that they do a really, really nice job at Gilmore Lanes, and they cut them or sand and coat them every year, and they just look great.
I miss that, dude. I miss it. When Bradley went from wood to synthetic, I was like, I miss the sound that the ball makes when it hits the
totally
wood.
Different. Totally different. Yep.
And I used to be there in the summer because my mom worked there when they'd resurface them, and that shit would smell. Holy cow.
Yeah.
But it was just a cool process, right? As a kid to see them do that.
They do it now, and almost, I mean, do you remember? I mean, you used to have cleaning parties because there would be dust everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
They keep that to. I mean, you still are going to get dust.
Sure.
But it's pretty amazing. You can walk in there almost the very next day after they've coated them, and you could start bowling on them right away.
It's the smell of that coating. I don't know if it's lacquer or what they use now, but
it's different now. But it'll still knock you out if you walk in and you're not ready for it.
Right.
But yeah, back in the day, you walk in, back when you were allowed to smoke in bowling centers,
mm-hmm.
I would be afraid to light a lighter or a match in there right after they did that.
That's a good point.
But you see those guys, pushing their little things that they would cut the lanes with a cigarette in their mouth, and it's like, what in the hell are you doing? This is a fire waiting to happen.
I miss it.
They were professional. They knew what they were doing.
Of course. Yeah, I miss that. I really do. I mean, look, even with synthetics, they break down. I mean, which I think when they were initially introduced, they're like, oh, this shit'll last forever. You don't have to take care of it. But we look at topography now, we're like, really? It's not just the lanes. You got to worry about the ground settling and what's underneath the lanes as well. So I don't think
most of them are built on top of the old lane beds that were there. So they're going to settle. I mean,
of course. And I don't think they thought of that when they kind of planned all that out and introduced it. But But no, I'm glad you guys got wood. That's old school, man. That is really cool. I don't know how many centers are still wood, but I'm glad you guys are able to keep that alive. And did you say you used some of the lanes from Coleraine? Was that?
No, there's another center in town that bought pretty much all the synthetics that Coleraine had. Bought almost all the panels, and they now have them on their lanes. So
I gotcha. Okay.
And it was an old wood center that was probably going to have to close because it was just an old, small 16-lane center. And when this is one of those things that probably helped him revive his business and make it even stronger. So Coleraine lives strong in that building for sure.
That's such a great story. It really is. Like, it's just cool to see that kind of live on because, man, you think about all the games that were put on those over the years by phenomenal bowlers. Because, I mean, even if they're not pro, every region has their guys like a Litchie, like a Troy Linton was before he went on the 50, like that were just phenomenal bowlers that never decided to go on tour. Every house has them. So it's kind of cool to see those lanes live on, knowing, who Bola knows. And
yeah, we have old ball lifts downstairs at Gilmore that came from Coleraine, and there's TV screens all over the place. It's just Coleraine just got little pieces all over the city. It's kind of neat.
That's cool. And you just had arguably one of the goats there, obviously, Walter Ray.
Yeah,
just stopped by Gilmore for a while and had some seminars.
Yeah, came in Wednesday and Thursday last week, ran 3 classes each day, and was on his way. But
did he have a good turnout for that?
Well, he only does 4 people per class.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
It used to be 8, but I think now he just does 4 per class. And Wednesday sold out for 3 classes in about 2 hours at $100 a head.
Not bad.
And then it did so well that a couple days later, we said, if he wants to try, why don't we try Thursday if he wants to stick around town? So he did Thursday as well. And and the Thursday, it took a little bit longer to get that one sold out, but at the same time it did. And there were people that came up just to see him. They weren't in the class, and some came into open bowl on the specials that we gave. I did a dead eye deal special for $2 a game to come in and try to get some folks in the building while he was there. So
yeah, why not? I mean, that's smart business. You're such a smart cookie. I'm telling you.
I don't.
You're all right, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Dave says about anybody else. You're all right.
You know what though, Rob? I don't either.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You ready for the imbecile of the week?
Yes, I am. I was wondering if you had that queued up or had somebody for this week.
I do. Let's go.
I do.
It's time for everybody's favorite segment.
If you guys don't know how to use a seatbelt, just ring your call button and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Here's the imbecile of the week.
Some people are really stupid.
So we didn't do one last week when we had Alex Horton on because he was just such a happy kid. Let me get Dave on this week, who's just kind of like Eeyore, but I can't help it. I can't, even knowing that he's from the Northeast originally. I can't help it. It even makes me want to bust his balls even more. But he's a good guy. He's a good sport. But I've had these build up for weeks. I have months and months of material because you know how idiotic league bowlers are, right? I mean, they get into forums on Facebook and they just start talking about shit they know nothing about. Most of them can't spell and, probably have, 3 teeth.
Use punctuation. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot to choose from. But this is just some that I mentioned or that I found this week. So the PBA Pro Bowling community on Facebook is funny. It's for the video game. So you're not only getting, your league bowlers, but you're also getting video game guys, and they're not too smart. They're probably in their mom's basement playing games, playing, I don't know, fucking World of Warcraft. I don't even know what the hell they play anymore. But Jacob Shelb, whatever his name is. Schwab.
I don't know what it is. It's
Schwab. No, that's fine. That's so I guess they're bringing back ABC Wild World of Sports back. I'm going to read it verbatim because
we have to.
It's the wild world of sports. ABC is taking it over for the rest of the season. Edit a comment has made me realize I was wrong, and it's going to be CBS. Sorry if I mislead anyone. I'm just a bowling fan. There's so much going on with this post. Just besides the poor sentence structure. And
where did you find? I don't think I'm in this group, and if so, I don't.
PBA Pro Bowling community. It's for the PBA Pro Bowling video game. Okay. They just re-release it every year. So you get some funny stuff in there. And this guy. So first of all, I didn't know it was the wild world of sports. So that's fun. But obviously, this show has been canceled for 30 years. I don't see why they would bring it back. But the fact that you can edit your post on Facebook instead of actually writing down below, edit a comment. Obviously, he meant to say edit, a comment has made me realize I was wrong. So, just for this post alone, he's got to be a front runner. So he made another comment in the thread of his post, saying it again, and not deleting this comment after he made his edit. The rest of the season will be on ABC. The CW broadcast is done for the season. At least it's what they said at the end of the Tournament of Champions. To which Donna Flathers-Goulet said, "You really weren't paying attention because it's not ABC, it's CBS Sports Network." So that made this genius do his edit instead of. Oh Jesus, Todd! Instead of
Donna, thank you. By the way,
thank you, Donna, for making this joker realize that he was wrong. But holy hell, Todd! This is some of the stuff that I have to find each week, and it's just it's amazing. So he's one of the front runners. He may be the winner, but there was something that I did see on Dino's post. Which I love his apps. I love his post, and I love Dino. He said we got to get him on the show as well. I'm sure you have the hookup for that, but I said great year for the brands of Brunswick. Suck it, Storm. And you would be surprised who actually liked this post. Hot squirting mama likes.
Oh boy!
Great year for the brands of Brunswick. Suck it. I'm married, but if she slides into my DMs, you never know what's going to happen. But thank you, hot squirting mama, for liking my comment. I just had to throw that out there because it made me laugh. So from the Bowling as a Sport Facebook group, which is always the thing that keeps on giving, Mike Jones. That's a very common name apparently. 2 questions.
Mike Jones, bitch.
Mike Jones. What's the point of blowing into the thumb hole? It looks dumb. What's the point of bowling two-handed except to cheat for extra revs?
Wow.
Apparently he has an issue with people blowing in their thumb hole because it looks dumb. And honestly, by his profile picture, he looks pretty fucking dumb. Mm-hmm. But also, what's the point of bowling two-handed except to cheat for extra revs? Why in 2026, Todd? Years and years after Belmo made the scene and just absolutely tore up everybody on the tour and set records and influenced literally a generation of two-handed bowlers now.
Yeah.
Why are we still talking about this shit? And why do people still hate it?
Because I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing on that.
Christ, Todd, I set you up like a softball and what the... My daughter's here. She's right down there.
Yeah.
Hey, sweetheart. She's trying to get in here like covert ops.
Yeah, I was going to say she's sneaking in. You better duck.
Anyway, I teed it up on a platter, and you should have said, because, hey, cover your ears. Because people are assholes.
Well, I mean, that's a given. You can only, I was trying to find a real reason. I was trying to think about it.
That is the real reason. Like at this point in where we are in the sport, right? Like how many people are bowling two-handed now because of guys like Belmo and
almost all of them that can.
Almost literally, yeah. Except EJ. Obviously, EJ just he doesn't care. He gives 0 Fs, but anyway.
Yeah. You know what? Oh,
what?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna. Scott just asked me if I had changed for a 5, because I had an imbecile of the week that was a customer last night at the lanes that needed 5 single dollar bills for the lottery machine because she wanted to buy $1 tickets, and I said, you can put that 5 in there and buy 5 $1 tickets, and she goes, I don't want a $5 ticket. I only want 5 $1 tickets, so I need the singles. So I quietly gave her 5 singles and let her wander on her way.
That's fantastic. I saw the post.
Can't make that up.
Rolling through, but I didn't have a chance to look at it. But that's fantastic. That's you can't make that up. You literally can't make that up.
No.
So we had Michael Puzo. I don't think he's any relation to the director or writer of The Godfather, but you never know. So it's a fact that you two-handed bowlers are not good enough one-handed. Why else would you bowl two-handed? It's obvious cheating for extra revs. I think this might be like the same guy, just on a different profile. You people are just glorified granny shot bowlers. Then you got backup ball cheaters, which Amanda wouldn't like that at all. Then you got string pin bowlers, which is a joke too.
Michael, if some of these people are my friends list, I have to just go in and delete them right away.
I was gonna say, yeah, right.
Or do you keep them around just for the comedy?
Just for the pure comedy gold, right? Just the gift that keeps on giving. That's hilarious. In which Sam Mead said, "Where's Slimo?" Obviously referring to Anthony Simonson. But I don't understand why there's so much hate. Are they just jealous because they can't do it? Like, is that what it is?
That's exactly why they're jealous. That's all there is to it.
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Final. Oh no, that's the same guy, Mike Jones. I think he had his own. There we go. He commented again in the post. It's a fact that you two-handed bowlers aren't good enough one-handed. Why else would you bowl two-handed? It's obvious cheating for extra res, dude. This guy literally is the same guy. Hold on.
There was the same. There was the same comment.
He did. I think he just created 2 different profiles. This guy's schizophrenic.
Do you think unless it's not the same guy, do you think that Mike Jones learned how to copy and paste? No.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think he's smart enough to do that. But
I was going to say, not a chance.
So between Mike Jones and his hate for two-handed bowlers and blowing in the thumb hole and blah, 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 and Jacob Schlump, who do you think deserves the imbecile of the week this week?
I mean, we've had co-imbeciles of the week before, but I think we have to go with Mike Jones.
Mike Jones. Yeah, I agree. I believe that too.
Or Michael Puzo, the same person.
The same person. So, hey, congratulations, guys. We'll just make you all the imbecile of the week because you do such a disservice to the bowling community when we're trying to grow the sport and not insult people for something they do or say. You keyboard warriors love to come online and just speak your piece, knowing you probably wouldn't say it to anybody's face, including Simo and Belmo and anybody else. So, for that, you guys are the imbecile of the week. Wear that as a badge of honor and know that you guys are literally some of the dumbest people on the planet. Congratulations. Bless your hearts.
Bless your hearts.
All right, Todd. Another great show. Again, thanks to Dave Wodka for being here, especially on short notice, and taking my punishment from me tonight. So I appreciate him being a good sport. And yeah, man, I appreciate everything you do. I say it every week, Todd. Dave's a hard worker, like you said, but you are also one of the hardest workers I know. And I know you get stressed. I know, you could get burned out at some point, but you do it because you love the sport. And because you like money too. I mean, let's be honest, right? Like it's the love of bowling, blah, blah, blah. That kind of gets cliche after a while, but you like getting paid.
I do. I do.
I do.
I think come next week. I think come next week, Kyle and I will be making our announcement for our fundraiser that we do Thanksgiving weekend. I know we said we were going to put it out there in May, so I'm going to get with Kyle over the weekend or sometime soon and see when we want to announce it. And if so, we're gonna announce it on our channel too. So.
I was gonna say, bring him on. He's been on here a couple times. I have his phone number too. We text every now and then. He's such a good guy.
No, he's great.
Before, he didn't realize when I first had him on, he was a surprise guest for Johnny's 40th birthday, and he didn't realize that it was me that bought that cameo from him, because he's been doing the intro of the show almost since day one. So when he saw that, he's like, I don't remember doing that, and then I told him that I clipped the I do because of what he said in that promo. He's like, dude, that is some of the funniest stuff ever. And I'm like, we just do it as a running joke. Now everybody gets in chat and they want to hear an I do. And he thought that was cool. But yeah, bring him on, and that'd be great to make the announcement on here if you guys can work that out. That's up to you.
Okay. Yep. I'll see if we can do it.
Addison, you want to say anything? No, apparently she doesn't.
If my daughter came down, she would not either. She wanted to peek around the corner and see what was going on, but she wouldn't want to say anything.
I love how you just busted in the room, though, in the blanket, trying to hide. She did it last night during Resetting Her Eyes with Amanda, so she thinks she's funny. But anyways, Todd, love you, buddy. Appreciate everything you do for me and for everybody else. And we appreciate our chat, too. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. And we had a good crowd tonight for Dave. And, we love what you guys do for us and all the support we get. And, everybody loves bowling. We're just trying to bring it to you in a informative yet comical way.
Of course.
And that's what we do best. So,
and everybody loves the new Turbo X NU.
How could you not? How could you not love that?
It sure is pretty. I can tell you that.
It's a pretty looking ball. It really is. Right next
purple,
to
got some white mixed in there, green lettering on it. Yeah,
it looks a winner. TMT pen too. So
that was a gift from a team that I sponsored last year on Monday nights. They had that made for me.
Well, that was sweet of them.
Yes, very cool.
That's cool. That's a 1 of 1, I assume.
1 of 1. That is correct.
Don't ever sign it and get rid of it like Chuck Ritchie did. So
no.
Speaking of which, I'm glad I brought that up. I do suck, because I still got to get you that chamois that Chuck signed for our winner of the raffle from 6 months ago. So
yeah, I'll probably see him at some point in time in the next, 2 to 4 years. So
please apologize to that person.
I did not realize he even won.
I still got to send to him. I still have to send to him. It's in my car. I'll get it to you. This wink, wink. This weekend, I'll try to get that done for you.
Hey, little one, is it almost bedtime?
Oh, it's way past bedtime. So yeah. I gotta get off here. All right, guys, we love you. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Right. Everybody have a great one. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Straight Up 5 with Todd McGill. You can follow the show on X at Straight Up 5 Pod. You can follow Todd on X at TMT Bowling. And you can follow Rad Rob on X at Rad Rob Entertainment. Follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Straight Up 5 Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. You can email us with comments, questions, or suggestions at straightup5podcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Todd McGill, right here on the